Edmonton. Local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. The successful Forever Canadian petition calling for Alberta to stay in Canada is facing possible delays. The question may not be put to Albertans or voted on in the legislature until after a fall referendum. Connor Hogg reports.
Welcome everyone in attendance.
At the first meeting of the special committee created to review the successful Forever Canadian petition, the UCP and NDP went back and forth. They sparred over the merits of additional background material, as well as a date for the review's conclusion.
We are required to report back to the Legislative Assembly within 90 days of the proposal being referred to us.
42 out of the 90 days of the work period that we have for this committee was eaten up doing absolutely nothing.
Forever Canadian petition proponent Thomas Lukazik says the government is stalling for time.
Premier Smith does not want this committee to finish its work before this spring session of the legislature is over, so that she can give enough time for separatists to have their petition signatures collected and verified by Elections Alberta.
Although Lukazik was in the chamber today, he remained on the sidelines. The UCP Majority Committee voted down a motion for Lukazik to be allowed to explain his intentions that government officials have repeatedly called unclear. Those members say this committee is dealing with uncharted territory.
We're going to make sure that we are representing the legislature through this process, again, first of its kind, and make sure we give that the respect and the heft that it's due.
It could take one other meeting. It could take up to two. We have to let the process unfold.
After the meeting, Lukazik told media he wants his question voted on in the legislature.
Our premier is a very bright and articulate woman. She knows what both questions mean. She simply doesn't want to deal with the Forever Canadian question because it is an uncomfortable question.
The NDP says the province seems ready to include Stay Free Alberta's pro-separatist question as part of October's referendum.
They delay whenever it's a voice that they don't want to listen to, and they do whatever they want to support their friends and their insiders.
Depending on how long the committee takes, the review may not be done by the end of the spring session. In that case, it could get pushed back to after October's vote.
If the Assembly is not sitting on June 8th, the next deadline would be November 11th.
A date for the committee's next meeting has not been scheduled. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The provincial government is moving forward with a plan to redraw Alberta's electoral boundaries. Following a time-limited debate, changes passed with UCP majority support. The UCP wants 4 new ridings to deal with population growth instead of the 2 considered by the Electoral Boundaries Commission. The commission chair suggested a redo. A motion was introduced last week and passed today. Now an MLA committee with a majority of UCP members will oversee a new bipartisan panel. In a sped-up process, it is tasked with submitting a report to the legislature in November. The official opposition accuses the UCP of trying to rig the next election and have purchased moving ads to make its stance known.
This government is doing something that no government has ever done in Alberta history, which is they are trying to steal, rig, and cheat in order to win the next election by using Trumpian tactics that we don't use in Canada to draw the maps in their favor.
The Premier has rejected those claims, saying the government did not have a role in drafting any maps. The Coliseum is in line for demolition this year. It's a major milestone for redevelopment on that site, and much of the exhibition lands to the south over the next few decades. Today, councillors directed city staff to rethink part of that vision to ensure the future neighbourhood still has enough space for festivals like K-Days. Jeremy Thompson reports.
The old Northlands Casino and most other buildings used for horse racing are coming down. It's the first section of the so-called exhibition lands to begin redevelopment. The city has a plan to transform 1.5 square kilometers of land around the Expo Center, including where the Coliseum still stands.
This is a really fantastic opportunity. It's been an underutilized site for a really long time to develop more transit-oriented opportunities. So mixed use, housing, commercial, right next to LRT.
City planners estimate full redevelopment will take the better part of 3 decades. Tourism body Explore Edmonton plans to continue hosting K-Days and other major events on the site through construction and beyond.
Our concern is that scenarios as drafted don't retain enough land or functionality to sustain Expo operations and major events over the long term.
As part of a deal to build an event park beside Rogers Place, the province is giving the city $55 million for the exhibition lands. Some of that money will pay to demolish the Coliseum. The plan was to offer that land to K-Days for a decade or so while the area south of the Expo Centre becomes a neighbourhood. But Explore Edmonton says spreading the Midway across 118 Ave doesn't work.
They need to ensure that their site operates in a functional way to allow for that long-term sustainability of what they do day in and day out.
So instead of offering Explore Edmonton the orange triangle at the top of this map for event space, councillors asked city staff for a revised plan that gives K-Days all of the land in blue around the Expo Centre.
This option would retain the North Coliseum site as a mixed-use transit village. I think it's really critical that we're maximizing opportunities for transit-oriented development.
Under that plan, Explore Edmonton says it can keep hosting K-Days through redevelopment without major disruption. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police are looking for two men they say randomly attacked a woman by spraying her with a fire extinguisher. It happened Sunday around 9 a.m. in the area of 64th Street and McConaughey Boulevard in North Edmonton. Police say a 66-year-old woman was sprayed while waiting at a bus stop. The first suspect, described as a black male wearing a black jacket and hoodie. The second, described as a light-skinned male wearing a white hoodie. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. A major route in West Edmonton was closed to traffic due to a semi-rollover this afternoon. Police blocked off the exit ramp from northbound Anthony Henday Drive towards westbound Yellowhead Trail. There's been no word on any injuries. An animal rescue in our region says it needs to stop taking in most pets for now. It's not about capacity, it's about having enough money to responsibly care for them all. Amanda Anderson has more.
This dog named Theo came to the Second Chance Animal Rescue Society, or SCARS, in November. He's one of hundreds of animals the organization has in its care.
Animal rescue is hard on our volunteers and our staff because it's so emotional. So it is a very hard thing, and to say no to those kind pleading eyes is very, very difficult.
Saying no is now the reality SCARS is facing. Donations it typically gets in the last few months of the year didn't come through in 2025.
So we've come into this new year without the reserves that we usually have that we need to carry us through.
It's left SCARS in a tough spot, forcing it to pause intakes for now.
We need to really ask for help from a financial standpoint so that we can build up the reserves again to know that we can care for these animals. Animals, as anybody knows, is expensive.
I feel for them. I know how hard that would be to make that decision, to have to say we can't take any animals in. So while I'm not surprised, it is not good news for the community.
Leanne Niblock at the Alberta SPCA says when one organization struggles, it has a ripple effect.
So whether these partners take animals from us at the Alberta SPCA or they take surrenders themselves, it's still one big community, and we're very, very short on space. In fact, we're not just short on space, we're out of space.
While having more animals adopted would help the situation, SCARS says what it really needs is donations, big or small.
All those small donations is actually how SCARS has thrived over the years.
SCARS will consider intakes on a case-by-case basis until it can catch up financially. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Morinville.
The Oilers have jumped out to a 1-0 series lead over the Anaheim Ducks in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It was a back-and-forth battle with some less likely goal scorers earning the Oilers a victory. Evan Kenny has more on the win.
Oilers have limited the Ducks to just 3 shots. Wellman a dart. Dickinson scores!
The Oilers' unsung heroes stepped up in Game 1. Jason Dickinson scoring 2, Kasperi Kapanen adding 2 of his own, including the game winner.
We got to win because our other guys really stepped up big when we need them.
It's the first time this season Captain Connor McDavid did not record a point in an Oilers win.
Draisaitl, McDavid, they're going to be our heroes many times, but they can't be the heroes every single time.
We saw it last night, obviously with Cappy and Dick again, 2 apiece. That obviously got us the win, but I think because the depth that we have and the experience within that depth that we have, guys are ready to step up in any moment.
The Anaheim Ducks led the league in comeback wins this season. They nearly did it again, but the Oilers say they stuck with their game plan and got the momentum back on their side.
I thought that didn't really defer our group. I thought in the third we were confident and we got back to our game and we were able to find two there.
The Oilers faithful has confidence after that performance that this will be a short series.
I think it could be Oilers in 4, max 5.
If not in 4, then I think in 5.
I think we're bringing home the cup this year for sure.
Game 2 is at Rogers Place Wednesday night. Puck drop is at 8. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton's Alphonso Davies scored his first goal in a year to help Bayern Munich clinch Germany's Bundesliga championship title over the weekend. Making his first league start in nearly 2 months, Davies had a hand in the victory, scoring the third goal in what would become a 4-2 win Sunday for Bayern Munich. The team is also in the semi-finals of Europe's Championship League, which start next week. If Bayern makes it, Davies would be in the final match taking place at the end of May, just 2 days before Team Canada's friendly game at Commonwealth Stadium here in Edmonton against Uzbekistan. The Edmonton Riverhawks have revealed their theme nights for the upcoming season. Like last season, all 27 home games will feature a different theme. This is from the Adam Sandler night the Riverhawks hosted last season. They also threw a Star Wars themed night, Paws at the Park, and a baseball and body slams night. The team has some new ideas for this year.
We kind of got something for everybody this year. We got some kid themes. We got Wizards, Wands, and Magic night. We got a Margaritaville beach party night this year, which will be really fun. Women and Girls in Sports night. So all kinds of things.
Riverhawks' first game and home opener is Friday, May the 29th. The team will host an Indigenous celebration that night. An act of kindness between two delis in Spruce Grove is showing what it means to be a good neighbor. Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
Brickhouse Smokery is back in business now that their meat grinder is up and running.
One of my staff accidentally went, after cleaning it, put it back together backwards, which doesn't usually happen.
That mistake left the deli almost cooked.
Well, we rely on it Monday to Friday. Yeah, so it's a huge part of our shop. We do tend to run out of work very quickly without that piece of equipment.
Brickhouse Smokery owner Trevor Wilhock says replacement parts would take weeks to come from Germany. Instead, he called an unlikely place, his competitor, Grove City Meats, around the corner.
I called him, told him what happened, and he just said, enough said, just bring it down. I'll grind it.
I'm not ever going to say no, just because it's community and that's what it's all about.
For 2 weeks, staff at Brickhouse Smokery brought around 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of meat to put in this grinder at Grove City Meats.
That was the only option, actually, was to take our products down there, and he didn't hesitate.
Mistakes happen, and you just got to make sure you don't make that mistake again.
That kindness has been the link between their shops for years.
This past Thanksgiving, I ran out of casing for my pepperoni, so I asked Trevor if I can come get a box of pepperoni casings so I could keep rolling so I could have enough for the next day.
As a thank you, Wilhock purchased $1,000 worth of gift cards to share with his customers, flowing new business between the two butchers.
I think they were just a little surprised, but then when they realize why, they get it, and they're like, perfect. They're on their way up the street.
It's always going to be like, what do you need or what do I need? And it's just going to be back and forth, and that will always kind of happen.
A rare friendship for many years to come. In Spruce Grove, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Coming up next, the search for the source of misinformation about Alberta separation. Also just ahead, why doctors are cautioning against AI diagnosis, the perils of trusting an app and its medical opinions.
So the problems are that the patient thinks they have one diagnosis when in fact they don't. They may have delayed treatment. They may have tried treatments that didn't work.
Good evening, folks. 23 yesterday, 20 for the high today, but things are about to abruptly change course here. Cooler air. Some more rain, maybe some snow over the next couple of days, and gusty wind. We'll talk more about all that in just a few minutes.
programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Misleading and inauthentic information about Alberta's separation is making the rounds on social media. A new report shows just how coordinated the campaign is, which is garnering millions of views. CTV's Kathy Lee takes a look.
At 74 years old, the Southern Albertan supports separation, saying it's the best for the province's future.
I think for our younger generation and our grandkids, I think it would be a good thing.
Joe Trotz emphasizes that most supporters are calling for independence, not annexation.
99% of the people don't want to be the 51st state of the USA.
But a new report identifies a network of about 20 YouTube channels posing as Albertan voices, pushing U.S. annexation and Alberta separation. Researchers say they're not real and appear coordinated, using the same scripts, the same clips, and even posting at the same time, together reaching nearly 40 million views.
Some of the channels have actual AI body and avatars performing the content, and some just have AI voiceovers.
The videos often use real news about Alberta separation, but distort and exaggerate the grievances, and sometimes getting the facts wrong.
Anybody promoting, U.S. annexation or U.S. statehood, they're not part of our movement.
The report suggests the goal is to drive attention and influence.
This is a very important year in Alberta, with the idea of a provincial referendum on the ballot being potentially held in the fall. It's important for Albertans and Canadians broadly to know which voices are real and which are fake.
In response, Elections Alberta says a new unit is being established to track all forms of deep fakes, misinformation, and disinformation. YouTube says it's reviewing the channels and will remove content that violates its rules. Ken Williams, who opposes separation, worries about outside influence.
There are players, I think, that are taking advantage of chaos, amping it up in order to manipulate voting.
Trotz also rejected the messaging in the videos.
I totally think that's wrong. I mean, facts are facts. Let them speak for themselves, good or bad.
The report can't confirm who's behind the network or where it originates, saying the evidence is still unclear. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Crowsnest Pass, Alberta.
When it comes to getting quick medical advice, more and more Canadians are turning to AI tools like ChatGPT. But doctors are once again warning about the dangers, saying it can do more harm than good. Here's CTV's John Venevali-Rao.
I can do almost anything that could possibly be asked of me.
In videos posted by the Canadian Medical Association, doctors can be seen urging caution about the use of AI.
Do you ever use ChatGPT for health advice?
Something a lot of people do when they have a medical issue.
I think it's just a quick way to get a little bit of quick advice.
If my back starts hurting, I'm just going to go on ChatGPT, for example, and I'm going to be like, I did this and my back hurts. And then it's going to start giving me a whole list of things, and I'm just like, okay.
But physicians warning, while often free and fast, the advice can also be wrong.
If individuals decide to go online, I would say they have to be very curious and very cautious.
In a survey of more than 600 Canadian doctors, 97% said they'd had to intervene to prevent harm or address consequences after a patient followed false or misleading health information online, including from an AI.
So the problems are that the patient thinks they have one diagnosis when in fact they don't. They may have delayed treatment. They may have tried treatments that didn't work.
Some say they've turned to an AI because they don't have a family doctor.
I have a friend who would ask ChatGPT. Her reasoning was it's too much hassle to go, book a doctor's appointment.
But the Canadian Medical Association says patients should always get a human expert to weigh in. In a recent study published in the journal BMJ Open, health questions were posed to 5 major AI models. 30% of the responses were deemed somewhat problematic. 20% were considered highly problematic.
They're not always accurate, and your best bet is to talk to a healthcare professional or at least understand the sources when you're online looking for information.
And while AIs continue to rapidly improve, experts say they still struggle to reason like a human doctor. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The Northwest Territories is following Alberta in ditching the twice-a-year clock change. The Premier says the Territory will also remain on permanent daylight saving time. R.J. Simpson says people previously supported the idea, and doing so now makes the most sense. Alberta is expected to introduce legislation this week to stay on daylight saving time. It's following BC's lead, which made the change last month. Stay with us. Still ahead, what the current king thinks his mother would have thought of the world today.
Take heart from her belief that goodness will always prevail.
Wednesday on Your Morning, it's playoff season. We asked the mayor whether the road to the cup will once again be hampered by construction. Plus, more on a major migration festival that will have people flocking just east of our city.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Welcome back. 20 degrees. Double back-to-back days where we've had 20 or warmer. It was 23 yesterday, 20 for the high today, way above average once again. 4 was the low. We're going to be in that range or cooler to close this week as some colder air drops in. A rainfall warning for the areas in blue here, 20 to 40 millimeters worth of rain. And the problem is that that's falling on frozen ground, so the ground can't absorb it. You can potentially have some overland flooding in parts of east central Alberta. You can see some heavier rain as well up in the Cold Lake region, Fort McMurray and north. Now, Fort McMurray, you might see a little bit of a rain-snow mix. North, it's snow. I think as we make our way through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, though, Fort McMurray, you could see heavy, significant amounts of snow. Here in Edmonton, we get some showers tomorrow morning, maybe some steadier rain, sort of mid to late morning. Heaviest of the rain will be Lloydminster back towards Calgary through the afternoon hours tomorrow. There's that flip over to some snow. There's a big low-pressure system way off to the east of us, so we're getting some colder air drawn in. It's cold enough in the mid and upper levels that this is falling as snow as opposed to rain by the time we hit Thursday. So anything that comes through Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to be snow. Maybe it may at times be wet snow as opposed to, really heavy, significant amounts of snow. But that's definitely some snow there. Back to the west Thursday morning, some heavier snow from Fort McMurray. Here in Edmonton, we may see a few flurries late in the day Thursday. I think for most of the day Thursday, it's just mostly cloudy and windy. If we get some accumulating snow in Edmonton, it's likely Thursday night into early Friday morning. And then most of the snow Friday, Saturday, I think is going to be in eastern Alberta. There's a chance of some flurries for the Edmonton region. I don't think we'll see heavy snow Friday, Saturday, though. It's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen. -1 Fort McMurray, -2 in Grand Prairie, 6s for Edmonton and Red Deer tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, somewhere a handful of degrees above 0 in the northwest, but closer to 0 for Fort McMurray. 6 for Red Deer, 5 in Lloydminster, and about 4 in Jasper. Here in Edmonton, 8 degrees for a high. That'll come around lunchtime. By supper time, we're in the 5-degree range. And look at that, 1 to 4 degree range for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with that chance of some flurries there to close out the week. Warmer temperatures will return, though, by the early to middle part of next week. That is your forecast.
Sturgeon County, north of Edmonton, has issued a fire advisory. It urges people to be careful doing things like grinding or welding. ATV riders must carry a fire extinguisher. A permit is required for yard and garden debris fires. Barbecues and recreational fires in pits are still allowed with caution. Volunteers are needed to help tidy up central Edmonton this weekend. The third Mega Trash Bash event is happening at James Kidney Park near the Coliseum LRT station. The community cleanup started 3 years ago. It happens at different locations and has attracted more than 200 volunteers. It's normally held in May, but organizers say they wanted to line it up closer to Earth Day, which is tomorrow. The event happens Saturday between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
The environment, it's our responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility to take care of the environment. If you have a clean and good environment, you have a healthy life.
Those interested in helping are asked to register online through Eventbrite so organizers can prepare for the turnout. King Charles paid tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth today on what would have been her 100th birthday. He spoke about his mother with fondness and reflected on how she would have felt about the state of the world.
Much about the times we now live in, I suspect, may have troubled her deeply. But I take heart from her belief that goodness will always prevail.
Earlier today, members of the royal family and British Prime Minister viewed designs of a memorial to be built in her honor in London's St. James Park. Britain's longest reigning monarch died in 2022 at the age of 96. And that is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I'm Jeff Hastings. Good night.